Hello, welcome back to the channel. And this is a channel where we give you reviews, playthroughs, unboxings, and we generally like to talk a load of bollocks about tabletop gaming in general. And in this video, we're going to be talking about a bidding slash bluffing game. We're going to be talking about Vabanque. And no, this isn't a game about British slang for fornication. This is a classic by Bruno Fedduti that has recently been reprinted. So in this video, we're going to be giving you a very brief overview of the rules. We'll be telling you what we do like, we don't like. Then we'll come back and we'll tell you whether or not Vabanque is still worth playing 19 years after it was first released. So remember, if you're new here, then please consider subscribing to this channel. Leave a comment in that section down below, and we'll see you after this. Bollocks. So, Vabanque, how'd you play this game? So like we said, Vabanque is a bidding stroke bluffing game. You're going to put a certain amount of poker tables on a table dependent on how many players you got. And then what you do, you'll give each player 4 5-value poker chips, 3 10-value poker chips, 2 20-value poker chips, and then 1 50-value poker chip. And you'll give each player a token, and you'll give them a matching set of cards. Each card has a unique special ability. You'll have a doubler card, you'll have a trap card, and you'll also have a bluff card. So the player who has last been to a casino will take the number 1 player card, and then going clockwise around the table, you'll have the 2 player card, the 3 player card, so on and so forth. So the first thing that you are going to do is you're going to place your token out onto the table, and then you'll take one of your 5 chips and you'll place it on any one of the tables that you want. And then the number 2 player will do the same, then the 3 player will do it until all of the players' 5 chips have been stuck onto the table, right? Then what you'll get to do, you'll choose one of your cards and you'll place it next to one of the tables. The doubler, the ×2, will double the value of the winnings on the table. So if you've got 2 5s on there, that'll be 10. If you've got a doubler on there, it'll be 20. And this is cumulative. So if somebody else plays a doubler on there, it'll be ×3 and ×4 and ×5, so on and so forth, depending on how many doubler cards are there. If you place a trap card on the table, then what you're saying is if you've got no opposing trap cards on that table, then you will take the winnings instead of the player who has their token there, right? And the bluff card does nothing. It just makes other players think that you are putting a trap or a doubler card there, right? So once everybody has put all their cards out on the board, you get to move your token in player order up to 4 spaces clockwise. So you don't have to move your token if you don't want it. You can leave it where you want, but you can move it 4 spaces clockwise. Once everyone's done this, you'll reveal all the cards on each table that has a player token on it, and you will collect your winnings. So if you're the only ones who have a token on there, you will take the winnings. If there's a doublet, you'll double the money. If there's a 2 doublets, you'll treble it, so on and so forth. You take the money, right? If somebody else is there as well as you, then you both get the winnings, right? If there's a trap card of another player, then you don't get nothing. They get everything, including all the doubles. But if somebody else has played a trap card, if there's 2 opposing trap cards there, then those trap cards cancel each other out, right? No one gets nothing, because the rule is if there's an opposing trap card there, you don't get to take it, right? And if there's a bluff card, then that don't mean nothing. It's just basically a sneaky way of somebody trying to stitch you up. So once you've finished this round, you will look at how much you got. The richest player will go first, which is a disadvantage, and then you'll play your 10s, you'll do the same thing again, you'll play your 20s, and then you'll play your 50s. All the poker chips from previous rounds stay on the table, so the value of the table goes up. So once you've played your 50, then you will count up all of your cash, and the player with the most money will be the winner of Vabanque. So what do we like about Vabanque? So the first thing that we really like about this game is the fact that it's been bleeding reprinted, hasn't it? We have been waiting for this game for 19 years, well 18 years actually, because we first see it about a year after it was printed, and it was out of print. We couldn't get hold of it, so we've been waiting for this one to be reprinted. We heard good things about it, and finally it's been reprinted. You can't get it in the United Kingdom, so we had to get it shipped over from France to get hold of this one. And yeah, we're just absolutely ecstatic that the classic game of Vabanque is finally arrived, and yeah, we've been playing it quite a bit actually. So the second thing that we really like about Vabanque is that the component quality in this edition is really, really nice. Yeah, you've got these really nice wooden tokens. You've got the thick poker chips, which you could swap out if you wanted to for like better quality ones, but we don't give a toss about that. We're quite happy with the thickness of the tokens. The cards are all right, the artwork's all right, you know, it's a little bit bland, not very colourful, but there you go. The component quality is absolutely adequate. It sort of gives you the feel of like a sort of a casino, because the poker tables are like green and all that sort of stuff. We do quite like the quality of the components. So the third and final thing that we really like about Vabanque is that you're always in the game until the end, right? You might think that you are losing. We played this the other day with a mate of mine, Steve. He thought that he was down and out. You could see on his face that he was a little bit depressed, the fact that he couldn't ever win any games, and he ended up winning the game on the last turn because he used his strategy and tactics to deduce where the best table would be. Maybe he deliberately did that, made us think that he didn't know what he was doing, but you know, that's the sort of mind games that are going on here. It's like a cross between Las Vegas and Skull and Roses, or Skull as it's now called. Yeah, it melds the two sort of ideas of those two and gives you an experience that's not exactly the same, but sort of similar. You can see the similarities in this, right? And when the cards are revealed, there's always a riot if your card comes in. If you manage to place a trap card in the space and lure somebody into your bear trap, then there's always a cause for celebration. The room erupts every time. And these sorts of games, they're not a party game, but these sorts of games where people can get animated and release some of that pent up steam are welcome in this day and age, right? So what don't we like about Vabanque? So the first thing that is in sort of direct contradiction to one of the pros is that a player can win on the final round, right? And like we said, that you're always in the game, but if somebody does come in right at the end and they have no idea what they're doing, they just put everything in and it's just pure luck that they went to a space where there's no trap cards and there's a few doublers, it can turn the game on its head. And this is quite rare. It doesn't happen very often, and I suppose it's good for the player that done that, right, that they win on their final turn. But for everyone else, it's like, oh my god, I thought I was going to win, I didn't. But then that's just the nature of the game, right? That's what this game is all about. There's not really any strategy to this. It's just a case of trying to read the room, see where people are going, where they've done before, a bit like Skull and Roses, like we said. And yeah, it can be a bit disheartening for somebody to mop up on their final round. Yeah. So second thing, and this is a bit of a nitpick really, but the table can get a little bit cluttered with cards strewn across it. Sometimes when people place their cards down, it's very difficult to see which table they are going for. So it can be a little bit of a table hogger. If you're playing with, like, say 4 or 5, even 6 players, you're going to have to spread these poker tables out, and where there's so many cards being played, the table can get into a bit of a state. Yeah. So the final thing, not that we don't like, but what you might not like, is that this game isn't for people that enjoy intense strategy games. This is for people like me with the brain the size of an amoeba. Do amoebas have brains? But this is the sort of game that suits me because it just allows me to go mental on a couple of occasions each month or a couple of weeks and just blow off a bit of steam, you know. So whilst I do like these heavy strategy games, Vabanque is perfect for me because rather than go outside and run down the street naked like a madman, I can just play Vabanque and do that in the safety of my own home. So to summarise, is Vabanque worth your time and bother today and in the future? So we are going to say a wholehearted yes. Had we got hold of this earlier, this would definitely have made our top 100, right? This is a truly excellent bidding bluffing game that plays up to 6 players. That's one of the things we really like about it. The more people you've got in the room, the more crazy people you've got in the room, the better the game becomes. Don't expect any high level strategy here. All you Euro strategy enthusiasts, you can just go away. You can go and watch Emmerdale Farm reruns, right? Because you're not going to find any high strategy level here, but you will find the excuse to have some wild celebrations as you pull the rug out from under your opponents and steal the win. This is a Bruno Fiduti classic that is undoubtedly well worth going all in for. Yeah, so there you go, that's Vabanque. Remember, if you're new here, please consider subscribing to this channel if you ain't already. Hit the like button, comment and all that crap, and we'll see you next time.